I'm back with my pal Anthony. It's a Sunday night. It's actually Monday morning now, Anthony. Thank you for being with me.
It is Monday, yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry to keep you. Am I keeping you up?
Nah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Me and Anthony are experimenting here. If you want to see more hot takes with me and Anthony, let us know. So I want to talk about this Warner Brothers, Looney Tunes versus Acme situation with my pal Anthony. We talked about this on the live stream, but I want to hear from you, the audience. I want to hear from you, the audience, if you think something's up. I want Superman to succeed. I know Anthony does.
I do, yes.
You don't really root up against anything.
Nah,
except Harry Potter because of J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, she's a bag.
Okay. So yeah. So what we're talking about is the attitude has changed. Here's my proof. Now my live stream Friday night was this disaster. But it was. I didn't even want to live stream today, honestly. And I didn't. But there's a change in attitude. Our pal Sean O'Rourke says Warner Brothers is in trouble. And I want the audience, I want you to respond based on what I unearthed here that not a lot of people are talking about is the change in attitude from Zaslav on selling certain projects. And the other thing that's very telling is if you don't think something's up, the rumors are not that they're just selling a shelved movie. The rumors are that they're selling Looney Tunes as a whole. You've heard that rumor, right?
Yeah, that would be.
So that is a significant change. Significant. You hear that, audience? Significant change in attitude for Warner Brothers. And if they're starting to sell off certain IP, potentially, this is still a rumor, that is extremely significant. And then the significance of change of attitude. This is from The Verge. According to The Wrap, Amazon, Netflix, and Paramount were interested in securing rights to debut Coyote versus Acme for themselves after Warner Brothers changed stance and gave the filmmakers behind the live-action CGI project a chance to shop around other studios. But while each of the studios reportedly submitted handsome offers, so this isn't lowballing.
Nope.
Compare that to now, this year. This is why I say there's a definite change in attitude.
Yeah, they changed their heart. Yeah.
And you know what? Some of my friends like Joe say, "Oh, there's nothing to see here." Like that dog in the dog in the fire meme. There's nothing to see here.
Yes.
There's a significant change in attitude. It says handsome offers here. Handsome offers, and then they're going to sell to Ketchup Entertainment for $50 million. Something's up there. And that's what I wanted to point out, Anthony. So Joe, and shout out to Crazy Joe.
Shout out to Joe for sure.
So if that's true, that actually could be a good thing for Looney Tunes. Because you're having it at Warner Brothers that's shelving complete projects. So if there's someone that wants to buy, the Looney Tune IP, do you think they're going to sit on it if they pay something for the whole IP?
No, they would just sell parts of it and characters.
No, I know. I mean, but when someone keeps buying the Terminator franchise, even though we hate the movies, they make something with it.
Yeah, they do something. There was the anime last year.
Based on what Zaslav has been doing to these Looney Tunes projects, Anthony, do you think it's a bad thing if it gets sold to someone that wants to buy it? They might want to make something.
Not really. If you want to make something for Looney Tunes, which fans still wants to see, yeah, sure.
Because what's happening now is they're making whole projects and shelving them.
Yep.
So I got so much negativity just by saying there's some issues here, and there's a change from selling a movie that's finished to now the current conversation in the movie talk community, according to Deadline, is that they might want to sell the whole IP. And you know what? For Looney Tunes fans, I think that's really good because that's not the similar situation with DC. DC, they're releasing a movie in theaters this year. That's not happening.
Yeah, that's it. And they got Batman, which they will keep them very well for the next 10 years.
Yeah. So I think this is a significantly good news for Looney Tunes fans. And I do think there's a change of attitude here. And I think something is happening at Warner Brothers. Okay. with plans, even including theatrical release, they fell short of 75 to 80 million figure Warner Brothers Discovery was apparently looking for. Studios being bullish about the prices they're willing to sell this rights off to is one thing, but WBD reportedly came out of the gate flat out refusing to hear counteroffers. Does that sound like what we're getting now?
No,
No,
it doesn't. They changed their heart a year later, which is crazy.
So, yes. And they recently fired off the advertiser that helped make Barbie a success.
Yeah, and then brought out new guys.
And they're talking about firing Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi that are mentioned here.
Which is ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah. So there is stuff going on at Warner Brothers. I can't even believe I have to say this, but to my movie talk friends that just say everything's fine here, everything's fine, they are putting lots of pressure on Superman, unrealistically so. I hope they don't treat James Gunn like they did Zack Snyder, because if you're enough of a movie pundit, Anthony, that back in the day, the people that don't like Zack's work, they would beg for the numbers for DC releases that he got, even though there was mixed reception, because Hamada's, besides Joker and Aquaman, all those movies really underperformed.
Shazam.
And I hope they don't treat Gunn like they did Zack, with unrealistic expectations. And
I think
and then slow down, like if they don't sell Warner Brothers Discovery, and slow down new projects.
Yes, like if Superman makes 725, whatever, that's very good for.
I don't think Warner Bros. Will be happy with that.
I mean, it depends on the budget. For sure. Like if it makes that, or like maybe 800, that's a very good number, because no other Superman has ever done that. And we're not doing inflation numbers with Superman 1 and 2. Please, we're not doing that. And Man of Steel as well. Even Man of Steel was literally the highest grossing Superman movie. Mm-hmm. So if it passed Man of Steel and is doing well at the box office, then great. I don't like that they put in unrealistic numbers for unrealistic pressure for Superman, but like I just don't want to see the DC brand get hurt again.
Yeah,
I really don't.
They've always put unrealistic, because they've always tried to be Marvel, MCU.
Yeah, you can't replicate that. Every company that tried that failed. You can't. Yeah. You have to stay in your own lane and do your creative projects, like what James is doing with Supergirl. That's different. Lanterns, even though I don't like the premise of them being on Earth, whatever, that's different.
As long as it's good, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't like that either.
Product.
I like,
As long as it's good product and people see it, it's good. You it's doing good. Yeah. And so it's weird that they really a year later they changed their heart. Yeah, let's the movie. Yeah, like it's weird.
But we want to we're gonna really pay close attention to the comments on this video. I want to know what you think. Is there problems at Warner Brothers now that me and Anthony have shown you some insight as to what's going on? They've fired a very successful marketer that helped the Barbie get really good success,
and they replaced them a couple of weeks ago.
They're taking a fraction of what they were going to take a year ago for Coyote versus Acme. Mm-hmm. And now the talk is not just selling a movie that's shelved, but completely selling the IP and getting rid of Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi. So that's all the evidence I have, but I want to hear from you. I think there's something going on. Mm-hmm. And listen, can James Gunn make Superman strong enough that it saves Warner Brothers as a whole? I don't think anyone could do that.
I just think Superman just do good numbers. If it's a good villain, the general audience will show up.
Yeah, and honestly, like that is. I'll be real with you. I love BVS, and I like Jesse Eisenberg as Let me bring up a picture here. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex. I thought it was realistic. I look at our boy Elon, And I think Jesse Eisenberg plays him like an Elon, like a current day tech billionaire. Yeah.
Yep.
But what's the new guy's name is Lex? What's the
Nicholas
actor?
Hoult?
Nicholas Hoult. I'm bringing up Lex Luthor. This is why I think that that Superman is going to get $1 billion. It's because all right, let me bring up an article here. Sorry, I wasn't planning to cover this one.
It's fine.
Oh, that's not a real image. Damn it. Let me find a real image of Nicholas Hoult. Here we go. First look at Nicholas Hoult. This is why I think Superman's ultimately going to succeed. Or, I mean, unless he doesn't do a good job. I think Nicholas Holt's going to do a really good job.
I think he's going to do a good job. I think this is probably the first time I've ever seen him. No,
the movie rests on Nicholas Holt's performance of Lex and how well the story, the direction is utilized for the Superman movie. This is where it lives or dies for me. And my biggest issues with Hollywood is they don't finish stories and there's not great villains. If you look at all the movies that they call woke or whatever in MCU or what did they have in common besides being this culture war thing? They lacked really good villains. Now, the emotion that you're getting in this image, he doesn't look like a one-dimensional villain. I'm getting really a lot of substance, just even the look of this Lex here. And what I was going to say about BVS, Anthony, is even though I know you like BVS and Justice League, right?
Yeah, I like I think the Ultimate better. Yeah.
But do you know we wouldn't even had the Snyder Cut scenario if they had a Lex that was better received.
Yeah.
That one change to BVS, if you had a Lex that people loved, we wouldn't even been in that. We wouldn't even had the Hamadaverse. We wouldn't have had the Gunverse. If Zack Snyder would have got someone else for Lex.
I forgot who was in the running for Lex for Zack Snyder at the time.
Yeah. If that one decision, but before anything else, I honestly believe that the casting of Lex, even though I love Jesse Eisenberg as Lex, if you had someone that really hit with the audience and they wanted to see Lex again, forget about it. Forget about it. And I think this is what's going to really sell this movie. That and a great Lois. I think Superman is important to the Superman movie, but the smallest factor as to the success of it, honestly, because we've never really had a bad Superman. And that really shows you. That it's not really hard to get Superman good. You talk about Superman Returns, right? That was a great Superman.
Oh yeah, Brandon did a good job.
You just didn't have a lot for him to do because the Lex was very homage to Gene Hackman's Lex, very cookie cutter, lack of action, So let's get the conversation back to stuff that really is going to help the box office, the industry. That's where I want to go with this. And I am going to take here. Let me blow myself up for this. I am going to take Sean O'Rourke's money, and I'll be happy to do it because me and my pal Sean have a bet on the success of Superman. And if Nicholas Hoult delivers, like I think he will, in this image, a multi-dimensional villain, not just a one-note villain, some substance, some pain, some anger, some actual literal tears there. There's going to be no way people are going to avoid the theater with this Lex, And I think James Gunn has done pretty good with the villains in his.
Oh yeah, he does a good job with it.
He's gotten better. I actually think the best villain in the Guardian series was High Evolutionary.
And yes, and the first,
the first one wasn't great. The movie was great, but the villain was just, eh.
Okay.
What was his name?
It was Huh?
but it was to set up Thanos, really.
Yeah, it was set up Thanos.
So
Yeah,
he was a setup villain, and then
yeah,
I didn't like Guardians 2 at all.
yeah.
But if you have a really competent actor like he did for Guardians 3 with the High Evolutionary, who's also in Peacemaker,
Yep.
and I think this is going to
He
be a
dies in
role.
Peacemaker. Rest in
Yeah,
peace.
this is the role, and I think there's going to also be a lot of Lex stands too, because, you know how the the milkshake brings the the boys to the yard. What does a good villain, good sexy young actor villain bring? It brings a lot. There's going to be a lot of Lex stands. That's all I'm saying. With Nicholas Hoult, this is going to be a really. I think I'm not saying it's going to be on the level of Heath Ledger as Joker, but I think this is going to be a definitive Lex. That's my thoughts. Sorry, I've gone on. That's why I'm so through the moon for this, based on Nicholas Hoult, and I think actually, if you asked Nicholas Hoult before years ago, he's missed out on so many roles, right?
Got a ton. Top Gun.
Yeah.
The Batman.
If you would have asked him what he wanted, he would have probably said Clark. But this is probably going to make him. Yeah. This is probably going to make him a bigger A-lister. This role.
Yeah, bro, he deserves it. Like, he's something outside of Beast and X-Men. Like, he deserves something that is good, a movie that is doing well at the box office as well. Like, he deserves a villain, and I think it's time to shine as a villain for sure.
Yeah, and that's what makes movies great. If you take any of the blockbuster movies of all time, what do they all have in common? Great villains.
Yep. And people still mention those.
Make villains great again. Make villains great again, and everyone will come back to the theater. Yep. That's the biggest thing. Yes, special effects, story, execution, direction, acting, of course. But if you make these big IP films with great villains that you want to see come back too, like we also, that's another issue. You have a really good villain and they're underused sometimes, and you get rid of them too quick. There's a time to get rid of a villain and have them, have an ending. But let's make these villains great again in 2025. Let's have some great villains. And I think we're on that path with Superman. So thanks for watching me and Anthony. Please get your comments in, what before we end this little topic, where do you think Superman's going to land? And what do you think is going to be ultimately the path to success for the Superman? Do you agree with me about Lex?
Lex, Lois Lane, and
more so than Superman? Like, I think he's going to, Courtsworth's going to be fine.
I think David is going to be well. I think every Superman in the past done very well with Clark.
Yeah, I can't
Superman. But I just want to see more Lois. I love Amy.
You do want to see more Lois.
Yeah, I love Amy. I think she did a decent job what she was given. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough with her. But with Rachel, hopefully, is a very good performance that a lot of people will like from her. And Jimmy as well. We didn't have Jimmy in the last version of Superman movie, so hopefully he's good as well. We did in Superman Returns.
But the first thing you said was that you're kind of in my waveLength, Lex.
Yes,
Lex is so important to this movie.
Yeah. Yes, Lex,
more so than any other character in my view.
Lex, then.
Crypto too is going to sell tickets.
Oh yeah, Crypto. Yeah, everybody's a dog
it's lover. Still, yeah, but if the villain's underused, then we don't have a good threat for Superman. Which that image you're showing right there on your icon.
Oh yeah,
that shows there's a big threat.
Oh yeah, he's knocked the hell out and he's bleeding, and that's what Crypto rescued him in the trailer. So yeah, hopefully, there is rumors we'll be getting a trailer at SummerCon that is coming out publicly. So we'll see next month, and April 1st, which is a weird day to do your presentation, Warner Brothers, but okay. Hopefully we do get a trailer there and a brand new poster of everyone from the movie. So yeah, hopefully it does well at the box office. I just want to succeed. I do not want to see DC do Batman for the next decade again. That's getting me boring. Just do a good Superman movie. If you're gonna do another Batman, okay, sure, whatever. Hopefully it's different than Robert Pattinson one. Or maybe I'll do other superheroes. Maybe Green Arrow. I think Green Arrow deserved a live
Yes.
action movie again. He
Yeah.
had a good. He had a decent TV. Yeah, the first 3 seasons. Yes, season 5, 6, and 7 was good. Yeah, he had a couple great seasons on the CW. They did great. Hopefully, we get Green Arrow again. Yeah, even though James Gunn been teasing it.
And Black Canary. Whew.
And Black Canary, yes, his girlfriend.
That was the biggest travesty of the Hamadaverse. Is they had an amazing Black Canary, and that movie bombed because if that movie would have done great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're gonna
hopefully
wrap up this topic. Thank you, Anthony. And if you want to see more from me and Anthony with some hot topics, please let us know.